Hello everyone. Monday, April 18th, 2022, 7:20 p.m. I hope everyone had a happy Easter, and obviously the Easter celebration of the octave is still going on. And so the penitential season, if you will, of Lent is now over, and we look forward to some relief and some celebration time and things like this in the church. But I just wanted to speak from my own inspirations, I guess, here. Again, I'm not a theologian. This isn't, I'm not telling people what to do. I'm just offering some advice as far as continuing the penance past Lent. Now, obviously, if you don't have to continue giving up what you gave up for Lent or whatever, if you want to, that's awesome. But just the spirit of penance should always be with us, especially in these times. So, one easy thing to do, like, I don't eat meat all year on Fridays. Every Wednesday, I don't eat food at all. So I fast two times a week for the entire year unless something comes up or whatever. And not that I'm special or anything like that, but I think it's really easy to step outside of Lent and totally forget about penance, is my point. And I want to go back to a dream I had on Halloween of last year. I actually found myself talking about this dream and having it recalled to my memory recently in one of the comment sections, I think of my video or somebody else's video, I'm not sure. But I'm going to post a link to that video below it. It's called Get Into the Ark Now, is the title of that video from October 31st of last year. And you can go back and watch that and see how freaked out I was talking about that dream. It was one of the more serious and impactful dreams that I've had really in my life. And so as time has gone on, I have deciphered that dream. I have discerned that dream. And I'll just give a brief summary. If you want the whole description, go back and watch it. But basically, I was sitting outside at a feast. I was surrounded by people. Some of them I kind of recognized, some of them I didn't. They were strangers, and it was like I knew that they were all fallen away Catholics. Catholics in name only, didn't really take the faith seriously, but, in the church or whatever, so to speak. And there was a man sitting across from me who was wearing all white. If I didn't know any better, I would say he looked like a pope. And so everybody's kind of going around their business, going about their business at this feast, talking, having a good time. And all of a sudden, the environment changed. It got really dark and gloomy and felt oppressive. And it was like I was the only one to notice what was going on. And I could feel this church, this clergy member staring at me, observing me, and I'm kind of like, what is wrong with that? Like, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I the only one sensing this? And then all of a sudden, behind, there was a cobblestone type road behind the table that I was at, and then there was more tables on the other side of the road. So there was kind of like a road down the middle of this feast, and this demonic parade, procession just started walking in the middle of everything. And so I look at the man dressed in white and I'm like, who is that? And he's like, that's an angel. And I was like, I knew, like, I could feel myself thinking about him, like, that's a fallen angel. And so I was like, that's Satan. And as I'm getting the word Satan out, he's like, don't say that word. And he's like, you can see him. I think he actually said that before. You can see him. Like, he was questioning that. He was surprised that I could see him. And he was like, don't say that word. And as soon as I had said the word Satan, it was like all this chaos started ensuing. And he just looked at me and he's like, increase your prayers and penance. He either said increase or don't forget your prayers and penance. I can't exactly remember. I think in the video he said to increase, but I think what he really said was don't forget your prayers and penance. And so I started praying. I grabbed the hands of somebody next to me who I thought was like a non-practicing Catholic. And as I'm praying, I'm being moved away from the scene by just the force of my prayer, I guess. It was fast, almost like I was running, but I wasn't running. And I had this girl's hand, and we just started moving away from the scene towards a harbor with an ark or a ship in it, which I knew to be safety. And as I looked back, I could see that the holy man in white was on top of a hill trying to lead the people who were at the feast to safety. And I felt and knew, and it was just infused in me, that everybody who didn't make it to the ship, who was at that feast, was now the possession of that fallen demonic procession. And that would include spiritual death and also physical death, like they were completely annihilated. And I also knew that the man in white was going to be martyred. So I woke up still praying, still had my hands like this, and in a lot of excruciating pain. I would compare it. I've never gotten bitten by a snake, but almost like venom was in my body, or was being stabbed all over inside. It was strange. And so I prayed a lot that night. I did some holy water. I did some things, asked people to pray for me. And so originally I had thought that obviously the message here is prayers and penance, is the answer to combating this demonic army that was seemingly out in the open now. And also, I kind of figured it meant that things were about to get really dark. But what I didn't come to the conclusion of until lately is that that dream, and this has been a process of discernment now, and also I've had other dreams that have kind of led me to this conclusion that that dream was showing me the separation between the fake church, I'll just say that, and the actual church, and how the the people who do the prayers and penance, who live according to the true magisterium of the church, will find safety in the ark. Whereas the other people who are Catholic in name only, not only will they be totally blind to Satan, they couldn't see him at all, they will be his possessions, unfortunately. And also the power of prayer for these people, for the fallen away Catholics, to increase, the answer isn't to fight amongst ourselves about which way is the right way, which mass, how to receive communion, all this stuff. Yeah, you know what? It's important. I get it. But the answer is not to argue about details right now. It's just not. The answer is prayer and penance, for ourselves and for the people around us that have fallen away, and who will be deceived by Satan, who is apparently walking around unchecked, if you want to interpret things the way I did from that dream. So, again, I'm nobody. You don't have to believe me. I've also had dreams similar themed. Maybe I won't talk about that, but with the clear indication that the spiritual darkness would start in Germany. And so it doesn't take a prophet to look at what's happening in Germany right now and see how much darkness is there, and how that darkness will spread throughout the church if left unchecked. And so the answer is not to fight with each other. The answer is prayer and penance, to remember the prayer and penance. And so why I wanted to make this video right now is because we can let our guard down, when we're out of these seasons, when we're out of the season of Lent, where the church is not really talking about penance and things like that. We can let our guard down, and that would be the wrong answer. So obviously you don't have to go all out. Everybody needs time to rest and regenerate, and have a time of just rest and not being so disciplined or whatever, but don't totally let your guard down. Keep up small penances, I guess, is my point, if you can. Definitely, obviously, we always have to keep up the prayer life, but really the penance, I think, is the one. If anybody's going to get rid of something, people don't keep up penance all year long. It doesn't have to be something big. It's just small little acts that really do make a difference in your life and can make a difference in the lives of the people we're praying for. So that's all I got. Yeah, the every time I turn on like any kind of church news or whatever, it's concerning. But the answer is not to lose faith. The church is never going to be totally annihilated. And God warns us of these things before they happen so that we don't lose our faith. So that when they do happen, we were already warned. We already know, and we know that the church will never be completely annihilated, even if it looks like that, because Jesus himself promises that. And yeah, it might be scattered. It might look like most people who call themselves Catholics are in the possession of Satan. But if you're keeping up your penance and you're keeping up your prayers and you're trying to live a good, holy, and Catholic life according to the true magisterium, then you can have hope in finding refuge in the ark that is the true church. And that's how I've come to look at it. This ship, this ark, is the true church. And you get there by prayer and penance, staying close to Mary and clinging to the Eucharist. So that's all I got. Hope y'all have a blessed day, blessed week. I don't know if I'm going to post too much this week. I have some stuff going on. So if I don't, I hope y'all have a blessed week. Joan of Arc Media out.